Our goal for the forum today is twofold. One, to share some information for you at the beginning with regard to the planning process and the timeline for it, and most importantly, to gather information from you on the future development of the university's campus, be it in terms of buildings, transportation, environment, land use, technology, the whole gamut of issues that need to be considered in developing a campus master plan. The forum process that we are going to follow today is to give you a brief overview, again, of what a master plan actually is, what we've accomplished in the current master plan that is in place, some reasons, the main reasons why we're considering an update, and to give you a sense of the timeline and the guiding principles for our process. In terms of the input solicitation today, you may notice that we have 5 tables set up around the room, and after my overview, what I'm going to do is to ask you to go to each of these tables, and you'll see that there are questions at each of them, and we have note cards there as well as markers, and would like for you to put your thoughts down with regard to these questions, and of course leave them there. We will have volunteers stationed at each of the tables. If you have any questions about anything particular, we will also be, my colleagues and I will be mingling around. Please stop us if you have any questions as you are filling out the cards. You'll also notice that we have some maps, just visual aids for just to give you points of reference as you're thinking about your responses. Before I forget, I should also note that for those of you who may have had a chance to visit our website or may not have yet had a chance to visit the website, which is masterplan.ilstu.edu, we've also have a survey out there that replicates each of the 5 questions. So even if you get through all of the tables today and if you have additional thoughts once you've left here, I encourage you to go out to that website and to share additional information there, because we're looking for as broad of input as possible. What is a campus master plan? Essentially, it is a way of it's putting together a long-range plan for the physical development of campus, and it is by necessity a long-range plan because, as you know, even a renovation of an existing facility can take several months or years to complete, and so you're not able to accomplish that in a short period of time. These plans, they deal with the size of the campus, the form and function of buildings and facilities on campus, the character and image of what the buildings and the facilities look like, and the overall environment. It covers a variety of things ranging from new buildings, renewal of existing facilities, definition of existing or potentially future space that we may have on campus, and then land use. And all of these attributes are considered in developing a set of recommendations for the master plan. As I mentioned, the current master plan that is in place was established in 2000, and there have been a number of achievements to date. Some of which are listed up there: the Center for the Performing Arts, the College of Business building, the Alumni Center out on North Main, the Student Fitness and Kinesiology Recreation building, which is a mouthful, but is also, as you can tell, good progress is being made there, as well as many renovations to student housing. Why are we choosing to do an update now? Well, for a number of reasons. A good plan is not a static document. It requires ongoing review and consideration to make it usable. Shouldn't sit on a shelf once you've developed it. You need to go back from time to time and consider what enhancements need to be made. And it's been 10 years almost since that plan was current plan was developed. And as the objectives that I mentioned previously have been accomplished, as the environment changes, as new technologies become available that we didn't know of or knew very little of back at the beginning of this decade, become available, as well as all of the work that's been done in the Uptown Normal development as well as Main Street corridor. It's, for all of these reasons, and certainly there are others, we think it's a good time for us to take a look at the master plan and think about what changes and enhancements need to be incorporated. As we're moving into this planning process, we have a number of principles guiding us along the way, and these are shown in no particular order of importance. But briefly, certainly one of the guiding principles that we have that we're considering as we develop our master plan is that it needs to be consistent with the goals of Educating Illinois, which, as you know, is the university's strategic plan. As I mentioned earlier, we want this to be a comprehensive planning process, not focusing on just one aspect of the university's physical space. We want to do this in partnership with our stakeholders and colleagues on campus, of course, but also with those partners that we have in Normal, Bloomington, and the surrounding communities. We want to make sure that whatever plan we come up with promotes an accessible, safe, and inviting campus for students, faculty, and visitors. We want to be sure that we embrace sustainability as we develop the plan to make sure that we're minimizing and in fact enhancing our impact on our overall environment. We want to make sure that we continue to build on the successes that we've achieved in the current master plan. Looking forward, what we want to have at the end is a plan to take us through the next 10 years. Certainly some of the projects may extend beyond the 10-year period, but we want to make sure that that's our time horizon. And then finally, we want to make sure that the plan is well informed by good analysis and assessment, as well as extensive consultation with our stakeholders and colleagues, which is, of course, one of the reasons why we're doing the forums. The plan process coordination really begins with the leadership that we have from our president as well as board of trustees. As I mentioned earlier, the actual plan process or plan development process is being led by myself and my VP colleagues with the help of the capital planning and budget team, which is a cross-university committee that deals with ongoing capital facility needs. We have a number of offices that are helping us, and units that are helping us in the development of the plan, the analysis, and so forth, ranging from our facilities colleagues to energy management to our Office of General Counsel, Budget Office, Comptroller, and Planning and Institutional Research. And as we get into the planning process, I'm sure there will be many others that we look to for counsel. And finally, the the input that we're seeking, as I mentioned, is broad-based. We're looking for input from our shared governance groups on campus, the campus community broadly writ, as well as the local community. The timeline that we have set forth is about a 15-month period. Again, as I mentioned, we're very much at the beginning stages of the planning process. We're, over the next few months, going to be soliciting input from not just the forums, but through our website, through meetings with individual stakeholder groups, both on campus and in the community. And from that, we're going to work toward developing a set of themes from the input we received that reflect the priorities that we're hearing, the concerns we're hearing, directions that people think the plan needs to go. Later this spring, we will have, that will culminate in the development of a draft planning document that will be shared with on our website and with our colleagues on campus. That will then, over the next several months, from May through September, we'll be soliciting input on that draft. And by late next year, approximately a year from now, we hope to have a final draft of this plan that will then go forth for endorsements by governance groups on campus, as well as finally the Board of Trustees in February of 2011. The questions that we are going to solicit your input on today are necessarily broad, and that's because, as I mentioned, we are very much at the early stages of the planning process, and really want to use this as an opportunity to cast broadly in getting the input that we receive. There are five. First is, what do you like best about the Illinois State University campus? Secondly, what features of the campus need to be enhanced or changed? What is missing on campus in your perspective? Third, what is needed to enhance the experiences on campus of students, faculty, staff, alumni, annuitants, and visitors? Fourth, what priorities do you recommend for further development of the Gregory Street property, which is the former site of the University Farm, west of the university residence? And finally, what changes would you like to see in the next 5 years or the next 10 years as we put together the plan? At this point, what we would like to do is give you a couple of minutes so you can get up and perhaps get yourself coffee or water or a cookie or all of the above, and then would like for you to go to each of the tables. As I mentioned, we'll have somebody stationed at each table. We would like for you to use this opportunity to provide your input to us on these questions using the cards, and would again just look forward to your participation. And again, if you have questions, as you're going around the tables, please don't hesitate to ask one of the volunteers or any of the people wandering around.